Joining us today from SEC Unfiltered. Honestly, man, we love Chris and everybody over there, but this is a man who is not afraid to give a scorching hot take or two. You can find him on X at Mr. Cole Thompson. It's Cole Thompson. Welcome into the show, buddy.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not, boys. Like, if I'm giving scorching hot takes, that either means I'm right on the money or I am dead wrong and I'm going to be on freezing cold takes tomorrow. But no, I love your show, guys. I really do. Like, when you guys reached out, I was beyond excited to come on. I'm always for independent podcasters that continuously want to see this platform grow. And you guys have been one of my favorite listens in the last month or so. So, for anybody that checks out SEC Unfiltered, make sure that you guys follow the Always Talking Ball podcast. They do great work over here. That's so awesome when small worlds collide. Tyler loves Notre Dame. My grandfather and I grew up in a Notre Dame household.
Mm-hmm.
And Lance was at the same bar that I probably was in 2015 in Tuscaloosa. So you never know how lives pass and path. Let's rephrase that. You never know how lives will cross paths. Lo and behold, that's how you get the Always Talking About an SEC Unfiltered collaboration.
Yeah, let me hit you with a team that everyone has been talking about, but they've got a tough schedule, and that's the Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah.
Right now, you can get them at 6.5 at some books, but you have to pay like minus 180 to get them there. I would be comfortable, shockingly, taking it at either, buying it up to 7 or maybe even going to 7.5 for plus money. This is a team that was absolutely handcuffed by injuries last year. They were one of Oklahoma's worst offenses in decades. That wide receiver room was meant to be a strength last year. The top 5 wide receivers got injured, most notably. I mean, Deion Burks is back. They got Isaiah Satenga from Arkansas. Giovanni Gibson's coming in. I just think everyone's talked about it. The John Mateer, Ben Arbuckle combination, quarterback OC coming in from Washington State. I know they didn't play the SEC level competition that he's going to face this year, but man, like the things we're hearing about Mateer coming out of fall camp and, when he was in the spring, like just his leadership abilities, I think that transition to with Arbuckle there, same offense and everything makes it so much easier. You look at the offensive line too. Everyone, that's where the questions come from, right? They had injuries too. They had 8 different starting combinations last year, but Bill Bedenbaugh is an elite offensive line coach there. I mean, you got to trust him to get it right. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Brent Venables is going to do what he does best, right? He's going to call that defense. We saw him at Clemson for all those years. We saw him at Oklahoma before that. And just, for good measure, he brought in Wes Goodwin, his good buddy from Clemson. So, to someone to back him up there, the schedule is just a gauntlet again, man. I mean, Illinois State and Kent State, those are W's, right? I think that week 2 game, huge swing game, I think they beat Michigan at home. I know Michigan's defense is good. True freshman quarterback in his first road start ever. I mean, he may prove me wrong, and Bryce Underwood may just absolutely light him up. But very rarely, no matter how good you are, do we see freshman quarterbacks go on the road like that in hostile environments and perform well. They get Auburn at home, like you mentioned. I think they can start off the season 5-0. So you think, okay, it's 5-0, man. Like they're going to get to 7-8 wins easy, right? The 6-week stretch that they have is just absolutely brutal, man. Texas in the Red River rivalry, at South Carolina, Ole Miss at home, at Tennessee, bye week, and at Bama. I think they could probably, if they go 2-3 there, like maybe, we've seen crazier things than them upsetting, Texas in the shootout. Ole Miss at home is a winnable game. Probably not going to win at Bama, with that revenge game coming. So that gets you at 7-3 with 2 left. Both of them are at home, Missouri and LSU to end the year. You get one of those, you got 8 W's, and you get to the window. What do you think?
All right, so I didn't want to break your concentration, Tyler, but I got to call you out on this one. In this state, it is not known as the Red River rivalry. We call it the Red River shootout. There is no other name for it. Yep. And I don't care what boosters or what any advertising says. This is what the game is. This is what the game will always be. Yep. I'm glad that you brought that up because let me just, the thing about Oklahoma is their schedule. You could sit at 6-0. You beat Texas. Like, let's say you just beat Texas and you're sitting at 6-0 and you're on cloud 9. Here comes the dark and stormy cloud of dismay and despair of you're going 0-6 the rest of the season because of what is currently facing you. Yeah. Like, that's the reality. Like, I got to hold your hand and turn you to the second trap. Like, you ever seen like those movies where like you're going like through level 1, level 2, level 3, and then it's like you go to level 6, and it's like, oh, this is the final level. until you reach the boss level, which is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 all combined into one. Like, that's Oklahoma's second half of the season.
Yeah.
I will say there were a couple throws that I saw on social. There's a couple throws that I've seen on film from people that were at practice that probably had Vegas sitting up in the middle of the night and realizing, oh, we're going to have some suckers hit the over on this one. Oh, John Mateer is going to win us some money. Like, Vegas has got to be so excited watching those type of plays because Mateer is going to make people do some stupid things with money. Like, he really is. Just, he's so poised in this offense that I think makes it so unique for people to buy into Oklahoma. Like, I'm buying into Oklahoma. I am. But, like, the thing is that people are calling out, like, oh, he played at Washington State. He played against a G5 level competition. Boys, you could play a Bumbleskunk University. If you are the number one returning player in total yards and touchdowns, you play college football. You're pretty damn good at it. And you also, this is also, you're not learning a new style of offense. They brought your offensive coordinator and he handpicked you to follow him from Pullman down to Norman. Like, he was calling plays and being like that second voice of reason for the offense by week 2 in camp. Like, this guy shows up and he's starting to take over and like demanding respect. And people in the locker room are like, okay, yeah, why are we going to doubt him? He already knows the offense better than we do. Why is this going to be a problem for us? So that's a huge blessing in disguise for, I think, Oklahoma to have that veteranship and that on-field mentality. The other thing, there's a certain player that fits the Oklahoma quarterback system, and it is a no-nonsense, I don't care what you say about me, I'm going to go out and prove to you why I'm better than you in every single way, shape, and form. And the last 3 quarterbacks that were in the Big Apple for the Heisman Trophy presentation, 2 won it, 1 didn't. And I still claim him down in Tuscaloosa. Lance, we can claim him. He is an Alabama Crimson Tide for as long as
absolutely.
We know. But like every single one of them carry themselves with this attitude of, I'm better than you. I don't care what you say about me. Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts. John Mateer carries himself that same way. He knows he's good. He knows he's talented. He is not afraid to go ahead and talk smack to you. He is not afraid to go ahead and let it uncork against you. That, I think, is exactly what you need if you are an Oklahoma quarterback. Like, you have to play that way. And especially with this schedule, you have to go into every single game thinking, I'm better than Lenore Sellers. I'm better than Austin Simmons. I'm better than Ty Simpson. Arch Manning is a dud. Jackson Arnold, you suck so bad that I replaced you down here. Bryce Underwood, you got paid millions of dollars to be a mediocre quarterback in Ann Arbor. That's the mentality you have to have, and I think that he has it. The Jaden Ott move, I think, was the best move of the entire offseason for a scheme fit for an offense. Because of the way he plays football is what Ben Arbuckle wants in that running back position. Like, Wayshawn Parker, he probably wasn't going to get an offer from Oklahoma, but he's going to Utah, and I think he's going to have a great year out there. It's a very similar type of role. Like, there is a running back that you want that can be versatile on early downs to get into the open field and then be that swing option in the flats to go ahead and move the chains and not drop passes. When Jaden Ott was at his peak at California, that was what he did. He was a great third down ball mover and a chain mover in the passing game, and he was physical enough to be able to win in between the trenches and then turn upfield. My main question with Oklahoma still comes down to the offensive line. Like, we can talk about the wide receiver position, and yes, on paper, it's upgraded because of Isaiah Zatenga comes on in, and Giovanni Gibson looked awesome in spring before he dealt with that shoulder injury, and Deion Burks looks really good when he's out there on the field. But this offensive line allowed 58 sacks last year. That was the most among Power 4 teams. That's not sustainable. Like it doesn't matter who your quarterback is. It doesn't matter who is going to be running the football. If they don't have room to run or even get a playoff, you're screwed. Like, that's really what it comes down to. And Bill Beatonbow is such a good offensive line coach that, like, I don't doubt him to be able to figure out where this team can go and how you have to fix it and how you have to work out a couple of little intricacies to make you in a better position. But, like, a lot of people looked at Texas and Oklahoma when they were coming into the SEC, and they were like, well, the schedule for Texas is so easy. They're just going to go ahead and coast on by. Yeah, it was, but Texas also addressed an area that Oklahoma didn't. They went after offensive linemen that Bama was looking at, that LSU was looking at, the Texas A&M and Georgia and Florida were all looking at. Because of Steve Sarkisian knew firsthand, you want to win in the SEC, it doesn't matter what you have of the personnel. If you do not have the 5 bullies up front, you don't have a shot. And that ultimately, I think, was the downfall of Oklahoma last year, whether it was Jackson Arnold or Michael Hawkins. your inability to get your quarterback to feel comfortable in the pocket on a 7-step drawback ultimately costs you multiple games. And thankfully, the Kip six at Auburn was good enough to get you bowl eligibility, and then the Alabama upset. So like, you still were able to keep the tradition alive of going to a bowl game, but you didn't look like an Oklahoma team last year. The 6.5 was the win total. Man, that's tough. Like, yes, I'm going to hammer the over on it because I just think that they're going to be undefeated going into that Red River game. They're going to get a win over either Ole Miss and or Missouri and Tennessee. So that automatically puts you at 6. Now you just got to ask yourself, can they win one of the next 3, which is South Carolina, LSU, or Texas? Can they just win one? And then that's 7. And you're 7-5, and that's not okay in Oklahoma, and that never will be accepted in Oklahoma. But I'm talking about bets. I'm talking about win totals. I'm not talking about what I like. It's not my money that I'm going to be wasting to pay the buyout for Brent Venables. I'm talking about the money that's coming in my pocket. I think that Oklahoma hits. There's something about John Mateer that just sells me on the idea that they're going to be probably in the hunt going into the final week of the regular season.
Well, this was an absolute blast, man. Can't thank you enough for coming on. Let the people know where they can find you once again. Let them know what things Chris and the guys over at SEC Unfiltered have cooking this season.
Yeah, so if you want to go ahead and spam me all the time on my social media, it's at Mr. Cole Thompson. You can hate my takes literally in my DMs. I have plenty of Tennessee fans to attest to that right now. We're finishing up our season previews for the SEC Unfiltered channel. Our 3 biggest game stretches is what I'm working on right now. X Factor players are coming out next week. The actual predictions are coming out later on this week. My actual explanation video just dropped recently on the top 25 teams for 2025, in my opinion, going into this year. We have our college football playoff selection show on Monday. If you want to check that out, Chris and I will be unveiling our 12 teams. And we got a bunch of other content that's going to be bleeding out the eyeballs, especially when it comes to season previews, because we do all 16 teams. We do all reactions. We do Sunday Fun Day every single week. We have 2 live streams at 8 o'clock every single Monday and Thursday, so check it out there. And as always, if you want to give me a follow, it's at Mr. Cole Thompson on social media. I'm basically there everywhere, except on TikTok, which is at Cole Thompson CFB. Because somebody, and I don't understand this, and it pisses me off, who is going by Mr. Cole Thompson? Like, honestly, who stole my mononym? Like, who did that? Because that's what I've been known as for the last 8 years on social media. And somebody decided to steal it from me on TikTok.
Well, good stuff, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. We already can't wait to have you on again sometime. Appreciate you guys listening in, man. We know it was a little bit of a longer episode, but this is the SEC, and we just, it just means more, like the moniker says. So, again, subscribe on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and X. For Cole Thompson and Lance Barton, I'm Tyler Noe. Take care. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next time.